eliminate and eliminate, and you find the 5 things on that list that will make you the most money in the shortest time frame. Right? And you involve your team in that. Okay? So everybody knows that's what we've got to do to make us the most money in the shortest time frame. Never lose that list, because once you've dealt with those 5 things, there's another 5 things you'll grab off it for next year. Okay? And the world does change. Right? So those 5 things that you've identified out of your SWOT analysis, on the right-hand side become your strategy. Your objectives. Now the five objectives that you want to achieve. Don't do any more than 5. And I'm lying to you, because I did 6. Right? Don't do any more than 5, because you won't do anything. It'll be my advice. Just do the 5, focus on them, and underneath it you can have a whole lot of little strategies that what you think you might have to do again in a little bit more detail to achieve that objective. Okay? I'm happy to share a real life copy of this if people want to see it. I will ask for confidentiality though. Don't get to a competition. What I'm going to tell you next, you say, well, I'm very tired. And then in the middle, there's a little bit of financial stuff in there. I don't actually over-focus on that, but it's kind of tested the theory of, that's what our financial result was the previous year. In a consolidated sense, that's what we want our sales and our gross profit and our net profit to be, maybe our working capital position. And you may even do it out for 2 years. And then you get some more fuzzy stuff there that I just can't get away from, I suppose, in the division and the tree hugging stuff, you know. But the main thing is on that left-hand side and the right-hand side. Okay? So that becomes a real live working document. So what I did with my directors in September, halfway through the year, I put it onto the agenda and I said, right, here's my report card. So I presented what I thought I'd achieved, we had achieved, against the business plan at 6 months. And I think there's 23 individual strategies under those objectives that I've got. And we've done 11 out of the 23. And the directors agreed with me, so, you know, okay, halfway there, now just under halfway through. So there was some discipline around that and accountability around execution. One page, it's live there, it's all the time. It's easy, isn't it? It's on my wall, it's on the management team's wall. And the other thing that I did was to make sure that we are knocking that stuff off. I've carried on with my 100-day plans. But of course my 100-day plans get into a whole lot of detail. So I want that's going to be done this week, that's going to be done this month, that's going to be done this month, that's going to be done this month. And that's chunking down even a little bit further to reconcile with what I have to achieve over the whole of the year. And you might say, oh, you're planning yourself to a grave, Tom. You know, who uses all that stuff? Who has the time to go and do it? I suppose most people in smaller businesses will carry that around in their heads. It doesn't actually hurt to write some of the stuff down and just check yourself against it. I didn't have that with a business that's got 100 people in it and lots of moving parts. I just had to have this discipline. Picking up on Karen's point, that if you're setting your business up for sale, we're going to go through a whole program on this. Those documents and due diligence, when someone comes in to look at your business, gives them a hell of a lot of confidence. Those 3 documents are worth a minimum, I reckon, of 15 to 20% value in your business, add on confidence.
Tom, why do you have a 100-day plan?
Oh, because that's what someone in the textbook said.
Oh,
I do it at month end, so some of them are, actually we do them in 90 days, which is 3 months. Until I get a bit of push and do a 100-day, I grab another month on for that 10 days. So the 4-month one, which is what I'm told.
roughly 3 a year or something?
Yeah, so it's more a phraseology really. It's about 3 or 4 months to chunk it through. Right, now here's the scary bit. So I did all that stuff and in trying to get everybody involved in it. So what I did is that I got all the staff in their individual groups. So I've got 7 teams operating in the joinery factory. They're all qualified cabinet makers. So they got them in 2 teams at a time. Guys off the floor, guys sweeping the floor. Got the accounting people in together, got the sales people in together. So I had probably about a whole week of staff meetings. You know what I did? I gave every single one of them a copy of the company's strategic plan. I gave every single one of them a copy of the annual plan, and of course they always get the 100-day plan. And if they wanted to stuff our business, any of them could have walked right out the door as competitive and given it to the competition. Big call. I actually tried it in the kiwi fruit business, which is even more ridiculous. Well, probably the same. And I had 1,500 staff in that business. No one cheated. But I explained to them what they'd do to their mates if they took that information and gave it to the competition. And then I said, actually, you guys, I trust you. That's what I said. I trust you. But I said, we can't get this business really spinning unless you know what we're doing. So I probably spent about 3 hours with each group, going through all that stuff. And it was hard work for someone, you know. It was some of it read quite complicated, and they had to try to explain things. And some of it's kind of like this. You just see the shutters coming down, and you know, the afternoon ones, you know what it's like, it's like maybe boring. In the afternoon when you go to a seminar, and that's that 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock session, everyone goes to sleep. I had a few nodders, but I made them partake in it. And that's a huge commercial risk what I did. Anyway, I think we didn't have any downside. We had an upside. All our competition have come out of shares in that. We've trained all our competition anyway. They'll know about us. They'll talk about us. Simple. Anyway, so that's something to think about. And as owners of small business or medium-sized businesses, you know what? I bet you hate sharing sensitive information with your staff. And the guy that was running this business was, no one knew anything. No one knew anything. Nothing was shared. So I shifted the pendulum over there. Like I say, it's interesting. I haven't been let down, I'd have to say. I did say that if I did find anybody, we talked about information. The place used to leak like a sieve, of course. I said, hey guys, this is me. If I find out someone is leaking information out of our business, I'll just come up to you and we'll walk to the gate and you can piss off. I said, that's my stake in the ground with you. I said, I don't care about getting sued, but I'm not going to see you damage your mates and the other guys. And that's I only said it once. In a manner like this, I wasn't like that. So I think they all understood that the stake was in the ground. So I guess I'll get kicked at some point in the time, by something, but they're a bit lucky. Right, so they had my trust. And that started to shift the culture as well. The business pace continued to improve too, by the way. We had a thing in our business called lean manufacturing. You guys heard of that? You know, for the guys with grey hair, you know, in the 80s I think we had Kaizen, you know, continuous improvement, and then in the 90s I think we had Toyota Way, which is probably English for Kaizen, I don't know. And then we've gone into this other thing called lean manufacturing, which is, you know, decision processes and ideas coming up from the bottom, being respected and everything like that. I walked into this business and they were in the process of lean manufacturing, which implemented from an autocrat doesn't work, by the way. But anyway, they were into lean manufacturing. I don't agree. Sorry, people are doing it, but I don't agree with lean manufacturing. I think it's an excuse for poor management. Anyway, I'll leave that over there. And so I walked in And lean manufacturing uses a process where all the staff can, if they've got an issue or something's wrong, they can write it on a post note and go and put it somewhere. I walked into this office that would be as long as that, well, it's actually twice as long as that, but the whole wall was covered in post notes. It was unbelievable. There must have been 1,000 of them. And I said, what's this? I said, oh, that's our lean manufacturing. These are all our issues that everybody's come up with. They just come up. I said, has anybody dealt with them? No, they just... So I want to pull the whole lot down. Just pull the whole lot down, chuck the whole lot out. And I said, look, I believe in the principle. I believe in the principle of people thinking if we can do something smarter, that they're in an environment where they're not scared to put their hand up and say, hey, we did that to that, that's a bit smarter. And so that they don't get their heads chopped off. So that's what I replaced it with. And then of course I was trying to replace it with an empowerment for people to make decisions and a culture where they weren't getting beaten up. So kind of the same, except it was top-down driven, where lean manufacturing more supposedly is about coming up from the bottom. Okay, so I'm sorry if I've upset a few people on that principle. So what's the outcome been? Well, it's still really tough out there, you know, and for our business. So it is really, really tough. I'll tell you what I mean. Anyway, we did put some pace and we're still improving on it into the business. The culture change is happening. You know, I'd love to go at this, you know. Let's change the culture. In Tauranga, they used to call me Tommy the Torch, you know, because just get in and do stuff. And it didn't kind of reconcile with my style too much. The culture takes 12 to 18 months. You know, I suppose that's slowed me down in my pace of expecting things to happen. So it is happening. And while it's a little bit late, I had a farewell for a guy who's been in our business for 20 years. One of our senior project managers, and so you know, I wanted to do a personal presentation with all the guys, so that's still happening. Just as I said, just starting this cooperation word through our